Welcome to the Inside Brains podcast, best of neuroscience, psychotherapy, and coaching. Welcome everybody, this is Matthias Whitford. Welcome to Inside Brains. Since this is my first English episode, I'd like to introduce myself to all the people who don't know who I am. I am a German neuroscientist, psychotherapist and peak performance coach. After studying psychology, I've now worked in brain research since 2001. My main research topic was how the brain handles interfering information while performing a task, which is called cognitive or emotional control, depending on which information disturbs your concentration. I have studied various patient groups, in particular people with hearing impairments or people suffering from a neurological or psychiatric disorder like Parkinson's disease or Tourette's syndrome. Since a couple of years, I work with clients, and now I'm able to directly help people with an arsenal of effective therapeutic methods, like, for instance, hypnosis or PEP, which is a German enhancement of tapping techniques. But what I like about PEP, which stands for Process and Embodiment Focused Psychology, is that it is so fast, efficient, and surprisingly fun to do. Its central positions are the inclusion of humor and the re-establishing of self-esteem. It is very similar to what Tony Robbins, for example, is doing. Surely, more information about the things I am doing will be provided in future English episodes. Usually in this podcast, I interview top experts from brain research, psychotherapy or coaching in order to reveal the best strategies and techniques to make your life better. But at times, I invite some very special guests who are top performers in sports or music. Because I offer peak performance coaching myself for people seeking out to improve their performance in sports competitions or looking for additional methods to increase their mental abilities while singing or playing a musical instrument on stage. And I am so excited to present you this interview with Guillaume Nery, which was so much fun and a great pleasure for me. Guillaume is a world-class free diver from France. He is a multiple world record holder and double reigning world champion. With just one breath, he can dive to more than 100 meters below the water's surface. And since a couple of years, I have been thrilled by these people who have challenged and upgraded human abilities. And if you like TED Talks, you should check out the one Guillaume held in Toulouse 2013. It is highly recommended and without a doubt one of the very best talks I have seen at all. In the following interview, he shares stories of how he began freediving, his experiences regarding the physical and emotional influence of water pressure, and how he prepares for diving, including specific breathing techniques. Guillaume is a guy who not only teaches lessons he learned from nature, but also discovers the beauty of this hostile underwater world. His wife, who is also a free diver and a filmmaker, has put together filmic impressions of this fascinating and genuinely breathtaking habitat, which are pure poetry. You can check out the links to all of these movies at inside-brains.com. And now, please enjoy Guillaume Nery. Welcome to Inside Brains. How did you start freediving?
I started freediving when I was 14 years old. So I was a teenager, and basically I didn't start like in underwater or in the sea, in the ocean, but I started with a friend as a challenge. we just tried to hold our breath the longest, and it was in the bus between school and home. We had every day 30 or 40 minutes, and it was kind of boring. And one day we decided, okay, let's try to hold our breath. And I lost the bet, and I decided to challenge my friend for the next bus trip. And it became a kind of obsession, because I was just fascinated by the ability of the human body to adapt to extreme conditions. The first time I was able to hold my breath for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and I was just out of breath. And then when I tried another time, I was close to 2 minutes. And then another time, I could go over 2 minutes, and then 2 minutes 30, and then 3 minutes. And each time I was trying, I was able to redefine my own limits. And I was just completely fascinated by this like discovery of the unknown. And and then, because I grew up in Nice, so by the Mediterranean Sea, I realized that all my breath will be much more interesting under the water, with a purpose. And I decided to use my capacities to hold my breath and to dive under the surface of the water. And I was between 14 years old and 15 years old. And then I really fall in love. I fell in love with this falling, with this idea that I could use my own body to go deep under the surface of the water, and this feeling of exploring a new world was just I was completely amazed, and it became a real passion.
In your TED Talks, which, by the way, are amazingly good, you talk a lot about this extraordinary feeling of when you have immersed into the sea. Has this feeling changed from your first attempts until now?
As soon as I made my first dive, I was feeling that something different was happening. I was really feeling that I was doing something different. I was what is funny is that the sea, in Nice, the sea is like by the road. So most of the people that are living in the city, you have the road, and then you cross the road and you jump into the sea, and then you are in another world, and you have this feeling to do something very, very different. And this is, I think, this contrast that I love a lot. I felt I didn't need to go and to drive hours and hours up in the mountains to feel in a different world. It was just 10 meters from the normal life. And that was really fascinating. And nobody knows that so close to their home, so close to their normal life, they have this other world existing. And that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to discover this unknown world so close to our normal life.
There seem to be so many different disciplines in freediving. So, have you tried all of them? For example, scuba diving?
No.
No.
Really, since I was young, I was in all the activities I've done, I have always loved the activities without technology, without assistance. When I want to go up to the mountain, I don't want to take the car to go up. I don't want to have any kind of help. I just want to go with my own body. And when I started discovering the underwater world, it was exactly the same idea, same spirit. I just wanted to go with my body. I just wanted to see what was the limit with what I got from nature.
Okay. And when you are preparing for a dive, what kind of specific techniques are you doing? Breathing techniques? Is this the same all the time, and is it the same for everyone who does free diving, or is it specifically your technique?
I think we all have our own techniques, but I'm not the only one using this technique. I know we are some of us, but some others are using different techniques. For me, what is the most important is to calm down. So to calm down, trying to find the perfect combination with relaxation and storing as much oxygen as possible. So the idea is to find the good balance. The rule number one is to avoid hyperventilating. So hyperventilating is like this. When people don't know what is freediving and what they should do, this is what they do, because they think that the more they ventilate, the more they will store oxygen. But this is the big mistake, because when you do this, you are using a lot of power, a lot of oxygen, because you use a lot of muscles to do this, and at the same time you don't get more oxygen, because very quickly your red blood cells are saturated with oxygen. So if you're hyperventilating, you just exhale more and more CO2, and this is dangerous. If you have less CO2 in your body, you the CO2 help you to prevent from blacking out. This is what, when you have a normal level of CO2 in your body, it gives you the information that you need to breathe. And with this information, you just try to control it, and sooner or later you will decide, okay, it's time to come up. If you hyperventilate, you remove this alarm, this signal, and you can black out without even feeling the need to breathe. So this is very dangerous. So I'm breathing very slowly. I focus on two things. So trying to be as slow as possible, trying to have short breath hold between inhale and exhale. So short breath hold means between 5 and 10 seconds, no more. And second thing, I focus on three things, sorry. So third thing is short breath hold between inhale and exhale. Second thing is trying to focus on using my diaphragm to inhale, because the diaphragm is the main muscle to breathe, and with the diaphragm you can maximize the volume of air and of oxygen you get in the lungs without using too much energy. And third rule is I try to extend as much as possible the exhale by controlling the amount of air that goes out of my lungs. So I do like this kind of little noise, like. So I have just a little tiny amount of air coming out of my lungs, and the exhale can be 15 to 20 to 25 seconds long, and the inhale is only 5 seconds. Deep inhale between 5 and 8 seconds. Then I hold my breath for 5 to 10 seconds, and then I exhale for 20-25 seconds.
So you emphasize the exhalation to calm you down, right?
Exactly. And then I can feel that there is two impact if I'm following those rules. Two impact. First one is it slow down my heart rate. And second thing that is harder to measure, but like people like you, specialist in brain research, I've done some measures, and you can change the brain activity if you control the rhythm of breathing, and you can go to alpha waves. So alpha waves. I'm sure you know what I mean, but alpha waves means that your brain activity, electric brain activity, is slower, and you are more calm, you are more relaxed, and this is exactly the state of mind we try to look for before a deep dive. Being completely relaxed, and it's close to hibernation. Like it feels like you're gonna fall asleep. And this is exactly what we need to use as less oxygen as possible, and then when I start the dive, I know that it's going to be much easier.
Okay. Are there some days when you feel I'm not that relaxed, I shouldn't dive today? Or
Yes, of course. Sometimes it happens. So two options. First, I try to take more time with exercises, trying to be more relaxed and to change the situation. Or second option, I just decide to not dive or dive shallower and change the training plan, because if I plan to dive very deep and I feel I'm not good or relaxed enough, I can decide to dive like much shallower and do two dives, for example, 2 times 60 meters instead of 1 time 110 meters, for example. And I train all the things, all the techniques, and so yeah, this is very important to be aware to the signals that give your body.
okay, so then comes the moment in the perfect time when you dive down into the sea. Does the state of mind changes? Are you still completely relaxed, or does it change to alertness, or maybe more trance-like state? How can I imagine this?
Of course, there is a little a little change, but basically, I consider that the dive itself starts before the dive. The dive starts during the 2-3 minutes while I'm focusing on breathing. If I'm in a perfect state of mind, like the beginning of the dive is just like a passage, is just another step. But so when I leave the surface, of course, a lot of things are changing. All my senses are changing. The the light. It's like the light is changing, the sound is changing, the touch is changing. My face was in contact in my hands with the air, and suddenly I'm just surrounded by water. I close my mouth, so I have no more taste, no more smell. So all the sense are changing. So it's a kind of another world, but but I'm prepared for this. So the first 10-20 meters, I'm just swimming down, focusing on leaving the surface because I'm buoyant. So it takes me a little bit of energy to leave the surface, and I'm just focusing on the movement, being the economy of movement, being efficient, because I have to dive. It's very important to leave the surface and to be quick, but not too quick, to save oxygen. So I focus basically on technique.
Okay, and then comes the moment, as you have described in the talk, where you just been pulled down, where you don't have to do nothing.
Exactly. Then I start the free fall. Free fall is happens between 20 and 30 meters, and then I just have to let go. I let go, and I feel it's really magic. It's the best moment in the dive. This Yeah, because you just let go and you're just flying. You feel the water gliding and you feel the water all around your body, your face. You feel the speed increasing, and you don't do a single effort. So it's a magical moment, and at the same time, I have to stay very focused because I feel the pressure that squeezed my body more and more, and of course, this pressure is something very special. Um, I can feel I'm going into an hostile world. The the light is lower, so it's darker and darker. I um, the water is colder also. The more I'm going down, the colder it is, and I feel the pressure squeezing more and more my body. And the key to be able to accept this is not to fight. Just let go and accept those conditions. Accept that there is nothing I can change with this, and the only way to feel comfortable is to completely let go, mentally and physically. So I relax all my muscles, all my every single part of my body has to be relaxed, and then I feel the pressure, yes, but it's not painful at all. I feel I'm more and more compressed, and I just accept it.
The first times you felt this, the first times you dived so deep, you felt these kind of pressure. Was it scary?
Not scary because I improved like very slowly, like from 20 meters, it took me 1 month to go to 22 or 23, and then one more month to go to 26, and etc., etc. But there is always one moment, and for me, it was between 35 and 40 meters. I couldn't improve for more than 1 year between 35 and 40 meters because it was the first big step in terms of pressure. And it was not uh, I really didn't enjoy at that time. Between 35 and 40 meters, I was feeling this pressure on my lungs, and I couldn't manage it. And I really didn't like it. And I was feeling, okay, maybe I would not be able to dive deeper because the pressure is too big. And then I don't know why one day I just transformed. There was kind of metamorphosis, and I realized, or I maybe didn't even realize it, but I was just something happened, and I just let go, and then suddenly it was easy, 40 meters, and then I could improve like very quickly within 2 or 3 months from 40 meters to 60 or 62 meters. And at that time, it was in 1999. I was one of the deepest French, and I was still 17 years old. So it was like one day something happened. So it's a lot about being patient, waiting for the body and the mind to adapt to those tricky conditions. If you try to force it, if you try to go against this, you can injure yourself. So this is very dangerous.
Okay.
It can be dangerous.
Um, when you dive down, do you have your eyes open or closed?
Before I had my eyes all closed, and more the last years I decided to open my eyes, and I have most of the time my eyes open, even though I'm not seeing much because I have no mask, no goggles, so the vision on the water is not very clear. So I barely think blue change in the all different types of blue colors, and it helped me to be in a kind of meditation state, I like to see this change in the blue, and also I can see, because I'm diving along a rope, I can see the rope in the middle, the white rope. So it's the rope is, it's like the link between the surface and the bottom. I'm attached to this rope, so when I see the rope, I know and I feel that I'm somehow connected to the surface and to where I'm from, planet Earth, the air, the atmosphere. So so it helped me to keep this connection, mental connection also.
Yeah. What I find very, very fascinating is when you describe you're down there in 120 meters or so, and in every direction is just blue. So it's not comparable to any place in the universe, and
Exactly.
and it seems that you like this. Your small spot in the sea, and I thought maybe you're so disconnected from everything, from every human, from everything that's everything that you know. It is not how is the factor of fear coming in? Is it just that you get used to it, or you really enjoy being
I
completely
really,
alone?
really, yeah, I really enjoy it, because as long as it's a very short time, I know it's just a matter of seconds, and I know I don't belong this place. I don't belong the depths. So I just feel blessed to witness this, and I feel like I have the privilege to be able to witness this. So really, I really enjoy it, and I like this feeling of infinity, and this vision, because yes, this is the only place on earth I can experience this. So it's fascinating.
So it's like a short look behind the curtain into another world, but you know you're not belong there. You go back. So this is the
Of
reason you can
course,
enjoy this.
that I have no other choice than going back. I I never got the choice. I never wonder if I will better stay down there, because I know what it means. If I stay down there, I'm dying. So I love my life, and I just don't want to die that way and that young. So and if I want to experience more and more this, I just have to go back and remember what I got from there.
Guillaume, what is the relationship of trying to make world records and go even deeper, and just trying to enjoy being in the water? So is it just an extra thing to have a record, or is it really a motivation for you?
Yeah, it's of course it's motivation. I've always been uh, a competitor. I love this idea of competition, but not the challenge is not the challenge against the other. It's a challenge with myself, and to challenge myself, trying to be the deepest ever is help me to keep the focus, because to be able uh, to get the preparation, to make those sacrifices, to to look for the perfection. Because when you try to break a world record, you try to go where no one has ever gone before. This is really something special, and this is really something. This is more than competition. This is really something about exploration, and about exploration of human limits, and being part of this adventure, like being one of the one that one day were the deepest ever, even if I don't know, even if I know that a world record is made to be broken. So I'm not attached to and I know it's just one step. It's my step, and then another one will will uh, will have his flag. It's like when Neil Armstrong went to the moon, and you have the American flag, and one day you will have a Chinese flag, and it's just one step in the knowledge, in the quest of the knowledge of human limits, and I'm very happy to be part of it.
Yeah, I've read that maybe you changed your focus a little bit because you have become a father. So you trying to keep more secure now. Is it correct?
Last year, I attempted my fifth world record, the 10th of September 2015, and I had a bad accident. I don't know if you heard about it. The judges and the organizers made a big mistake and they set the rope 10 meters deeper than what I've asked.
And 10 meters are a huge another step. That's not just a small amount,
huge.
right?
When you try a world record after 20 years of freediving, it's just impossible. And I was trying to break the world record with a dive at 129 meters, and I've been down to 139 meters. So I realized that it could really be dangerous, and it was more than 15 years I was doing competition, like very serious competition, and I'm a father now. It's been 4 years that I'm a father. So
me too.
Good. and also now the depths are bigger and bigger. So if you combine all those factors, I decided, okay, I consider myself not safe anymore, and I've done a lot. It's time to stop, and it's time to enjoy freediving for other purpose. So I didn't stop freediving at all. I'm still freediving. I'm still training almost every day, but for other reasons, for not for breaking records or competing, but for exploring the world, using my capacities to dive in other places and to unknown places, and to keep this amazing link I have with the underwater world. And this is it.
Okay, and your wife is also a free diver, and she so made very beautiful underwater movies I saw on the internet,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Cool. So I can just invite everyone to search for it. I put the links in my podcast website.
Yeah, great.
to see
the
this
name
picture.
Of the website, name of the website, it's a French name, so it might be difficult to spell it, but is Les Films Engloutis. Maybe you can find this on. I can send you the link on Skype or by email. I send you by email. I have your email.
I'll put this in my my website space, so that everyone can take a look at this. So my question regarding your wife would be: has the experience as a free diver helped her with giving birth to a child? Because breathing techniques or meditation states, does she report anything regarding this?
Oh, for sure, she was feeling more confident and yes, that was a real challenge. But yes, I think it was helpful, but we wanted to do it underwater, but there was no possibility to do it in Nice, so
Yeah.
we did it like the normal way.
Okay, cool. So I have just two more questions, if I may.
Yeah.
So what kind of specific mental or psychological techniques do you teach for people to become less stressful, to be more in the moment, because that's what everyone nowadays want, right? We are also all overall stressed from mobile phones, from internet, from our daily work, from our sobriety. What is your specific technique from a free diver that you can teach everyone else?
Oh, this is what I'm teaching when I'm doing the conferences in the business world with the people from company, and they're asking me to make those conferences, to share this knowledge and this experience of managing stress and risk and everything. And I have several key points, of course.
Okay.
But
just to make an outline, is this meditation, or is it what are you doing?
No. It's really a state of mind. It's the way to. Why does the people feel very stressed in their everyday life? I think is that we are facing this. We are all facing this. We all have to be as good as possible in what we're doing. We are all we are asked to be the best and the fastest, and we are in our everyday life facing this concept of performance, and for me the main thing about performance is how it's the philosophy you have behind this performance. Of course, there are technical aspects like the breathing. I was explaining you the breathing aspect, and I'm using a lot those techniques, and I'm teaching the people to use those simple techniques to control their body. Because with the breathing, you can control your body and be more relaxed and focus. And if you're more relaxed and focused, you're more efficient and happier in your life. But on top of that, it's more about the philosophy you have in your everyday life. For example, I'm talking when I'm sharing my experience with people in the company and with the general public also, and with the freedivers also, because I'm teaching freediving to beginners, and I'm always saying that the most important thing is the philosophy. For example, how to keep the pleasure in what you're doing in your everyday life, even though it become a job, even though you have obligation, even though sometimes it's not, sometimes it's hard, sometimes you are failing in what you're doing, but how you can always focus on having pleasure in what you're doing. And this is not something passive. This is something you have to look for. This is really something you have to be an actor in your everyday life to always find the pleasure back in the activity. Because once you lose the pleasure, sooner or later you will lose the efficiency, and you will lose the motivation, and you will stop what you're doing. So it's just one example. Another example is the passions. I explain with my experience why it's very important to take your time in all the achievement you want to realize. Because if you want to just go as quick as possible, because this is our modern society, we are asked to be as quick as possible with the mobile, with the emails and everything. And what I'm trying to share is that this is not the good option. This is not the good direction for a healthier society and for just good results. And we have a good example right now. I was listening to the radio this morning about the Samsung problem, all the last the last smartphone Samsung Galaxy 7 that are just completely dangerous, and that stopped producing those Samsung right now. I've asked for 2 million people to send back their Samsung, and they were explaining this morning the reason of this radio show. It's because the engineers got so much pressure on their shoulders to make this smartphone as quick as possible, to challenge the new iPhone, and without considering human aspect and the reality of what is possible. They got a huge pressure to make this, and at the end it's a real disaster, because they will not produce this phone anymore, and it's just a waste of time, of money, of energy, of human energy, and this is so stupid. And this is the typical example on how the passions is the key of success. And if you look at what the others are doing, and if you just focus on being better than the others, you're just wasting your time, because the most important thing is to focus on what you can do and try to give the best, your best, to give your best, not to be better than the others.
Yeah.
So
that's the important stuff. Yeah, right. To support each other. And I heard that from another German freediving person, Anna von Böttchen. I don't know if you know her.
Of course, I know her.
Okay, yeah. She said everyone in this community support each other. So that's exactly. You're a small group, but everyone supports.
Exactly. This is very important. This family community spirit, because this is the only way for us to survive. And even if we challenge each other during competition, main thing is that we support each other, even the best challenger between each other. My main challenger is a Russian guy. She is a very good friend, and I'm sharing all my tips with him, and he's doing the same with me, because more important than the success is to make our sport growing. Because if the sport is growing, if we have better knowledge, it's a benefit for all of us.
Yeah. She reported that there are attempts to make it more viewer friendly with underwater drones that they film the divings. Is that right? Cameras, automatic cameras that film the divings, so viewers can easily follow each dive.
Yeah, I'm one of the ambassadors of one of the projects. So,
cool, very cool. So if one wants to learn freediving, where are your workshops? In France somewhere, or in Nice?
So it depends. It can be all over the world. Next year we're going to travel with the family all over the world, and I'm going to give lectures, conference, and courses all over the world. Reunion Island, Indonesia, Philippines, and so more information and updates on my website.
Okay, so I can share your website address, and everyone can take a look.
I sent the two links in your mail, my website and the website of our productions.
Cool. Thank you very much, Guillaume, for this very interesting interview.
You're welcome.